Hi everyone, today I'll be reflecting on how I achieve a high score in my written assessment on monkeypox, previously mpox, previously known as monkeypox. This task required required me to demonstrate my understanding of the disease, its biological mechanism, host and environmental factors, treatment options, and global policy responses. I believe I performed strongly in this assessment because I combined through research, critical analysis, and a clear academic writing to produce a well structured and evidence based essay. I'll be explaining the key elements that distributed to my success and what I learned through the process. First reason I achieved a high score was because I demonstrated a deep understanding of the topic. From the beginning, I aimed to go beyond surface level information and provide a comprehensive overview of the mpox virus and its global significance. In my introduction, I defined mpox clearly and explained how it related to the smallpox causing variola viruses. I included details about two clades of viruses, clade 1 and clade 2, and how they differ in terms of virulence and fatality rates. I also referred to the global outbreak declared by the World Health Organization in 2024 and included in Australia's first mpox case, which showed that I understood the disease in both global and local contexts. By combining historical background, current outbreak data, and scientific explanation, I demonstrated not just knowledge but a conceptual understanding of how mpox fits into broader field of infectious disease and public health. Effective organization and logical flow. Another reason for my success was the strong organization and logical flow of my essay. I use clear headings and subheadings such as role of agent, host and environmental factors, policy responses, treatment, and conclusion. This structure mirrored the way that scientific report is organized and made my arguments easy to flow. Each section flowed naturally into the next. For example, after explaining the biological aspect of the virus, I transitioned to how the host and environmental factors influence transmission, and then how host and environmental factors influence how government respond to the factors through policies. This clear structure help the readers understand the progression of ideas and reinforce the essay professional tone. Then comes to the comprehensive research and referencing. I use wide range of credible and current sources, including World Health Organization, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the Lancet, the Nature Reviews of Immunology. Most of my references were from 2022 to 2024, showing that I relied on the most recent and relevant data available. I also applied APA's 7th edition of referencing accurately through the essay, both in text and in the referencing list. This demonstrates the attention to academic integrity and detail, two key marketing criteria for postgraduate assessment. By integrating authoritative evidence to support every major claim, I showed my ability to use research critically rather than rely on general knowledge. Analytical depth and critical thinking. Another key strength was analytical uh, depth of my essay. I didn't simply describe factors, I analyzed relationship and uh, drew meaningful conclusions. For example, I explained how the discontinuation of the smallpox vaccination program contributed to the resurgence of the mpox causes and how social behavior factors such as urbanization and population movement influence transmission. In my section of pathogenesis, I explored how the virus spread through the body and the immune responses involved, and how these affect the severity of the illness. By including both biological and epidemiological perspective, I demonstrated critical thinking and synthesis of complex information. This level of analysis showed that I could connect scientific evidence to public health outcome. an essential skill for Master of Public Health student. Next comes the global and national policy analysis. One of the areas I'm most proud in this assessment was my analysis of policy responses across different regions. I compared how Africa, United States, and Australia managed the outbreak. Highlighting both strengths and limitations in each approach, I discussed how WHO and the Africa CDC established a joint task force to coordinate research and response strategies. In contrast, I noticed um, Australia adopted a focused but measured approach, introducing post exposure vaccination and maintaining surveillance while de escalating in its national emergency responses. By presenting a comprehensive policy analysis, I showed my ability to apply public health frameworks globally and locally. This met the learning outcome related to understanding the health governance and policy development in response to emerging diseases. Next comes to my academic writing and communication. My essay also reflects strong academic writing and communication skill. I maintained a formal, clear, concise tone throughout the paper. I used appropriate scientific terminology such as pathogenesis, viremia, humoral immunity, and post exposure prophylaxis, which demonstrated familiarity with discipline specific language. At the same time, I explained these terms clearly to make the essay accessible to a wider academic audience. I also paid attention to grammar, sentence structure, and paragraph transitions, ensuring the writing flowed smoothly. Feedback from previous assessment helped me to refine my academic voice and maintain clarity while presenting complex material. Good writing made me analyze stronger and easier for the readers to follow, which is often distinguish high scoring work from average work. Integration of clinical and public health perspectives. Another aspect that contributed to my high score was the ability to integrate both clinical and public health perspectives. My background in dentistry helped me approach the topic from clinic lens, understanding symptoms, treatment, and immune responses, while my master's training helped me to analyze the same topic through public health lens, focusing on prevention, equity, and community response. For instance, I discovered treatment. I only described antiviral like teco tecovirimat and cidofovir, but also mention supportive care vaccinations such as population level intervention. Similarly, I linked individual immunity with global vaccination policies. This integration of perspectives reflected a holistic understanding of health, which aligns with the multidisciplinary nature of public health practice. Reflection and learning. In reflecting on this task, I realized that the most valuable learning outcome was understanding how scientific knowledge translates into policy and practice. I learned how infectious disease management relies not just on clinical intervention but also public communication, surveillance system, and community cooperation. This essay taught me to evaluate evidence critically, to connect research with real world implications, and to communicate finding effectively. It also improves my organize a large amount of information to organize into a coherent, well referenced piece of academic writing. In conclusion, I believe I achieved a high score in my MPOX essay because I demonstrated comprehensive research, analytical depth, and clear academic communication. I showed understanding of the biological, social, and policy dimension in the disease supported by current and credible references. My essay was well structured, logically argued, and reflective of postgraduate level of critical thinking. Most importantly, this assessment helped me strengthen the key of competencies required in public health, evidence based reasoning, effective writing, and the ability to connect scientific knowledge with community well being. This achievement has motivated me to continue improving my academic and research skills as I work towards becoming a health professional capable of contributing to meaningful public health outcomes. Thank you.